welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a project pan intro. I've been doing a lot of Shop My Stash. I will link the playlist up above if you like those videos, but I wanted to give some more attention to products that I really loved, I knew I already loved, and just document my progress with them, see if we can finish them up. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you like Project Pan videos, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet and stick around. I do upload videos twice a week on Sundays and Thursdays. And with all that out of the way, let's get started talking about the products that I'm going to be working on for the unforeseeable future. So let's start with primer. This was actually the product that kicked off this video idea that made me decide I want to do a Project Pan, because I pulled this into Shop My Stash and then I just decided it's one of the oldest primers that I have in my collection and I just want to finish it up because it's probably almost past its time. And that is this one. So this is the Dior Capture Total Multi-Perfection Makeup Base with Sunscreen. So I have a little mark here, and anything I can take close-up photos of, I will, and I will insert them into this video. But this is kind of where I can see it. I think it's a little bit lower, but the product doesn't really want to settle, so I can't see it. I am going to be taking weight measurements of everything just so I can have a little bit more of an exact idea of how much I'm using. So this primer currently weighed in at 125 grams. Granted, this is only 30 milliliters of product, 30 grams, so the packaging is accounting for a lot of it. This is glass, it's pretty heavy, but it gives me an idea of where we are, and I mean, we'll see how much it weighs once I finish it. My plan is to do probably 3-month updates. I think that gives me a lot of time to see some progress. So every 3 months or so is when I'll be doing an update on these videos. But let's talk about the next one. I chose 2 primers, and I did that because the Dior one is more of just a moisturizing primer. It's not gonna do too much for your base. So I also wanted to pull this one in. I've been trying to finish this one up for quite a long time now. So that is why I chose it. It's just the Benefit Porefessional, the original. This is kind of where I'm thinking it's at. It's the furthest I can squeeze it down. So that's where I'm marking it. I have it weighing at 18 grams currently. So I want to just get this out of my collection. I also own the Benefit Porefessional in the pearl finish, which is really the same thing. So that way I just have one Benefit Porefessional. We're gonna use this one up. Let's move on to complexion products. So I try to just pick one thing out of every category to give myself a good range. And the foundation I chose is my favorite foundation. So I figured, why am I not using it? I'm using all these other foundations and Shop My Stash. I'm testing out foundations. I test out a lot of foundations. I'll link that playlist above if you like foundation reviews, but I'm not giving my favorite foundation any love. So it's going in Project Pan, and it is the Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Foundation. #1 all-time favorite foundation. Right now I have it to just about here because I don't get to use it that often since I'm just using all these other foundations. I have 3 drawers of foundations. It's too much, but I want to focus on this one. I really want to use it up, and the main reason is because I have the original formula and they've reformulated this. So I want to use it up so I can try the reformulated one. So that's what we're going to do. I have this one weighing in at 123 grams. Now, again, this is a standard fluid ounce, has 30 grams of product. So the packaging being glass, it is accounting for a lot of that. So the packaging is glass and it's accounting for a lot of that, but it gives me a baseline. Again, the product's not really sinking in, so I can't really tell too much, but this is what I'm thinking it's at. Right about here is what it looks like. For concealers, I did also choose 2. I have just your standard concealer. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I have the shade 1C Light Cool. This I have weighing in at 19 grams. It looks like it's right about here. I try to scrape the doe foot to kind of just see where it's at, but it's not working. So I think it's about here, and that's what I'm gonna put, but 19 grams of product in this. I think I'm about halfway, and I really, really love this concealer. I think it works great. Everything that I'm talking about is on my face today. I always link it down in the description box, but it is also listed just if I'm not talking about it. And yeah, that's where I think we are. 19 grams. The second concealer is gonna be the Nars Soft Matte Concealer. I have the shade Light 2 Vanilla, which is a little bit light for me. I actually have a backup of this concealer in a darker shade, so that's why I just chose this and want to use this up. But this is a concealer that always just sits in the back of my drawer, and I never pull it out because I'm always just reaching for concealers like this. But this is great for spot concealing. It's great as an eye primer. So I really want to just give this more love because it is a great concealer. I just, for some reason, don't grab for pot concealers. So I want to have it front and center. This is where we're at. Again, I will insert in a photo. You can see that I've used it, but I really haven't given it the love that it deserves. And since it is lighter and we're going into winter, now's the time to use it. I weighed this in at 32 grams, and this only has 6.2 grams of product. So you can see how much the packaging is accounting for that, but we'll just see if we can get some use out of this. I really would like to not necessarily finish it, but at least pan it. We'll see how much progress I get to come January, but those are the concealers. And now on to powder. If you've watched my channel at all, you know how much I've been struggling to finish this powder. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 1 Fair. You can just see how close I am to finishing it. I've pulled this into Shop My Stash twice now, I think, but because I do Shop My Stash, I don't get to reach for this as much as I want to. So it's just gonna go in Project Pan. It's gonna be alongside Shop My Stash, so that way I can just use it at the same time and finish it up. I definitely, if I need to finish this up by January. I just have to. I want to buy a new one of this. I've just made it my mission to finish this and just have my first product that I finished 100% completely. Well, first powder. I've finished other foundations, etc., but I want to finish a powder. I feel like my life won't be complete until I finish this. So it is going in Project Pan, and I have it weighing at, where are you? At 53 grams, but clearly this is gonna be, what is this? This is 8 grams of product. Bronzer, blush, and highlight. So for bronzer, this is the Too Faced Milk Bronzer weighing in at 60 grams. Here's what it looks like. Clearly this is very old in my collection. It has the old packaging. It's just time to get this out of my collection. I have used this. I really love this bronzer. Again, all these products I really love. I didn't want to pull products into Project Pan of things that I was iffy on or I didn't know how I felt, because if I ended up not liking it, I wasn't going to use it. I wanted to make sure these were all products that I love, and they're at top of my list. So clearly you can see just how much I've loved on this bronzer. I'm pretty confident that I can pan it. So that's where we're at for this one. For blush, this one doesn't have as much use, but it is the Ciate London blush in Date Night. I bought this because of Taylor Wynn. She used to always talk about these blushes, and it is a really great blush. I've used it quite a bit. You can't really see as much wear, but that's why I just want to get more use out of it, because every time I put this on, I love it. Ciate London actually released new blushes, and I need to look into it more, but I'm fairly confident that they just repackaged and are re-promoting these blushes that are so great. They were underhyped. They never got the love that they should have gotten. If they are the same blushes, I highly recommend picking them up. I wish that I had gotten more shades of this because I really, really like it. It's just glowy. It looks great on the skin. Every time I put it on, it goes with every look. Again, I have the shade Date Night. I think it's a really great universal shade. There's other shades that I probably would have picked up, but this is the one that I chose initially, and I'm really happy with it. This is weighing in at 35 grams. However, it has 4 grams of product. So that's what we're working with on blush. And then highlight, this is also another one, just like this Charlotte Tilbury. It's the bane of my existence. This is a ColourPop highlight in the shade Lunch Money. I have used this a lot. There are a lot of products that have just been sitting in drawers because I've traveled a lot. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I lived in the Philippines for 2 years. I lived in Cyprus for 2 years, almost 2 years. And I was very limited to the amount of product I could bring. I had one suitcase and that was it. So I had to also bring clothes and other things. And this was the highlight I brought to both of those countries. And it must have been one of the only highlights. Maybe I brought another one, but for some reason, everyone says how easy it is to pan these Super Shock shadows or blushes, highlights, any of the Super Shock formulas, yet I have not hit pan in this. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I tend to be very light-handed with my products, but this I just cannot pan. So I'm putting it in Project Pan because I am determined to at least pan this. I know I can. I love this highlight. It is so pretty. I use it on my eyes all the time. I don't understand why I haven't panned it, but I haven't, and I'm determined. It's now gonna happen. I have 2 more products to talk about. So a setting spray and lip gloss. The setting spray I mentioned in last month's Shop My Stash. This is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. So this is one of the first setting sprays, or at least the oldest setting spray that I have in my collection, yet for some reason I never reach for it. I don't like the scent. This is a product I'm not a super big fan of. So I take that back, what I said that I love all these products. I'm not a huge fan of this. However, it's not something I can resell. It would just go in the trash and it feels like a waste. So I'm gonna finish it because it's just a setting spray. It's not something that I feel like will make my makeup look worse. It's just not my favorite. The spray, because it's older, it's like very harsh. It completely just wets your face. I have to spray it on my sponge first or else my face is just completely soaked with product. But I just want to finish this up and get this out of here. I'm not going to use this exclusively. I'm going to use other setting sprays, but it's really just going to be a goal of mine to finish it. I believe that this is kind of where I'm at. So you can see for being my oldest setting spray, like only being down this much, not that much. So this is weighing 171 grams and it has 120 grams of product in it. Let's see if I can do some damage. It is a primer and setting spray, so I might use it as a primer to kind of just get through it a little bit quicker. And it's not a terrible setting spray. It's just for some reason I don't reach for it that much and I'm sick of looking at it. So it's gonna go. Just thinking about it now, I don't think I talked about the weight of my highlight. This is coming in at 27 grams. And it has 4.2 grams of product. Now, the last thing I have to talk about is lips. This is hands down my favorite lip formula, I believe, and it is this product here. So this is the Nars Velvet Lip Glide in the shade Bound. It's what I'm wearing today. I just love how it's glossy, but kind of, it feels matte, so it really stays on your lips, but it's hydrating. The shade is everything. It goes with everything. It's just my favorite lip product. I would buy more shades, but I'm cutting myself off from lip products until I finish some. This is coming in at 35 grams and it has 5.7 ml. So 5.7 grams of product. I can't tell how far down I am. I've tried to move the doe foot around to really see. We're gonna just count it as full because I can't tell it all. But let's see if we can make some progress on this. Since it goes with a lot of looks, I don't think I'll have too much trouble seeing some progress on this, but that is all of them. There's 11 products in total. I might have bitten off more than I can chew. Let me know in the comments because I don't really watch Project Pan videos. They're not really videos that I gravitate towards. It's something that I'm just interested in. I plan on looking more into, seeing other people's products. So if you know good channels that do Project Pans, let me know down in the comments. If you think that I started with too many products, let me know that in the comments as well, because looking at this, I actually cut this down. I did have more products that I planned on, and then I was like, okay, now we're getting out of hand here. Let's maybe focus on just a few, and you can always rotate them out. So 11 is the number that I finally settled on. I did have this, what was on my eyes now. It's one of the Stila Glitter and Glows, but I used it so I could have it for today's video, and it was empty. So I put it in my empties bin. You should have already seen it in my empties. I'll link that video above. That video should be going live before this. So I was really happy about that. But that is gonna wrap up this video. So I will be doing a progress status update in 3 months from now. So around January, we'll see how far that I get. But thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.